I'm going to be reading you my book, The Internet Stole My Friends. My name is Mia and I have no friends. You might be asking why. Well, how do you compete against fake book, Insta spam and PooTube? I didn't realise that the internet stole my friends until this one sunny day. Let me explain. Of course I didn't want to stay inside because that would be boring. I wanted to ride my bike. I grabbed 3 protein bars and stuffed them in my pocket. Then I was off. First stop was Chloe's house. That was only 1 protein bar away. I knocked on the door, but nobody answered, which was really weird. I ran to the front gate, opened it quickly, and threw it closed with a loud bang. Chloe's room backed onto the garden, and when I looked in, she was lying on her bed, slumped over an iPad, headphones on. I knocked on the window and shouted. She didn't budge. It was no use. The internet had got her. As I was leaving, I saw Peppy, Chloe's corgi, whimpering with her lead in her mouth, waiting by the front door. I felt bad, but I knew I could not take her. Next stop was the park, because all the kids played there. I had high expectations, but when I arrived, it was no fun. I saw kids, but they weren't really playing. I ran over to my friend Violet and said, "Want to climb a tree?" She lifted her head and stared at me with big tired eyes for a moment. Her head just dropped back down to her device. The internet had her too. We couldn't believe our ears. Then I heard this horrible sound. There was screaming coming from every neighbourhood. You could hear the bangs and crashes of devices being smashed in anger. There were kids having tantrums, dropping to the ground, kicking and yelling. All of a sudden, the kids went silent. They started rubbing their eyes, looking around, dazed and confused. Then a weird thing happened. The children started playing. I heard springs on trampoline creaking. I heard laughing and splashing in pools, the squeaking of swings and balls bouncing. Scooters were pulled from garages and used for a change. Kites were flying. There was laughter and chatting. And then I heard the magic words, "Mia, come and play." Everything was perfect. I hoped that the internet would never be fixed. But of course, 2 days later, everything was back up and running. There was cheering, but surprisingly, not from the kids. The cheering was coming from the adults. The adults stopped talking and playing with their kids and rushed back inside to quickly connect their devices.